phone in your pocket right now has a fully functional FM radio chip soldered onto its motherboard. It can pick up local radio stations without using a single byte of data, without a cell tower, without Wi-Fi, without service of any kind. It works during hurricanes. It works during blackouts. It works when every other signal on Earth goes silent. And in the United States, it is turned off. Not removed, not broken, not missing. Turned off by a single line of software written by the carrier who sold you the phone. And in about 90 seconds, I'm going to show you exactly which setting to tap on your specific phone to wake it back up. Whether you have a Samsung, an LG, a Motorola, an iPhone, or a Pixel, there is a path. Some take one toggle. One takes a $6 adapter. All of them work tonight. Stay with me, because the most important part of this video is not the activation. It is the second hidden feature inside that chip that nobody is talking about, the one that can deliver emergency text alerts to your phone when there is no cell service at all. Let me show you why this is not theoretical. In 2017, Hurricane Maria destroyed the cellular infrastructure of Puerto Rico in a single night. 95% of cell towers went dark. The internet was gone. Phone calls were impossible for weeks. The only mass communication channel that kept working on the island was FM radio. People drove with their car radios on for news. Families gathered around battery-powered radios for evacuation updates. And millions of people walked around with smartphones in their pockets that had FM chips inside them, chips that could have received the same broadcasts, run for days on a single battery charge, and saved them from being completely cut off. The chips were there. They were turned off. The same thing happened during the Texas freeze in 2021. The same thing happened during the California wildfires. The same thing happened during the 2024 Helene flooding in North Carolina, where entire counties lost cell service for over a week, and FM became the only way to find out where the shelters were. This is why this matters. Not someday. Not for a doomsday scenario. For the actual disasters that hit this country every single year, in which the cell network goes down first and FM radio keeps broadcasting. So let me get straight to the activation. If you have a Samsung Galaxy or Note made between 2017 and 2022, open the Settings app, tap the search bar at the top, and type the word radio. On most models, a toggle will appear. Turn it on. Then open your app drawer. There will be a new app called Radio. Plug in any pair of wired headphones because the cord acts as the antenna. Open the app, scan for stations. That is it. You now have FM radio that runs on essentially zero data and almost no battery. If you have an LG, a Motorola, or many older Android phones, the same trick works. Settings, search for FM, tap the toggle. If a radio app does not appear automatically, download a free app called Next Radio from the Play Store. It talks directly to the chip and unlocks it on most enabled devices. If you have a Google Pixel, the situation is different. Google chose to leave the chip dormant on most Pixel models, but the chip itself is physically present on the Snapdragon system on chip. There is no native software path, but a free app called Spirit FM Unlocked, available on Play Store, can directly access the tuner on Pixel models that have not had the radio firmware stripped. It works on roughly half the Pixel lineup. If you have an iPhone, Apple has stated publicly that the FM chip is electrically disconnected from the operating system. The hardware is on the board, but Apple chose not to wire it to any user-facing function. There is no software fix, but there is a workaround that costs $6. A Lightning to FM adapter, or for newer iPhones, a USB-C to FM adapter, plugs into the charging port and turns your iPhone into a full FM receiver instantly. No carrier permission, no software unlock, no subscription. The signal goes directly into the phone through the adapter and bypasses the entire carrier-imposed restriction. Sold on Amazon for about $6. Drop it in your emergency drawer next to your flashlight, and your iPhone becomes a working FM radio the moment you plug it in. That is the activation, for every phone in your house, in about 3 minutes of total work. Now here's the part that almost nobody talks about, and the reason this video exists. The FM chip in your phone does not just receive audio, it also receives a second invisible layer of broadcast data called RDS, Radio Data System. RDS is what shows you the station name and the song title on your car radio screen. But RDS can carry far more than that. It can carry text messages, it can carry weather alerts, it can carry full emergency broadcast text in plain language sent from local FM stations directly to any RDS-capable device within 20 miles. In the United States, the Federal Emergency Management Agency runs a subsystem on top of RDS called Alert FM. Local emergency managers can push targeted text alerts, tornado warnings, evacuation orders, shelter locations, water contamination notices, through any participating FM station. Those alerts arrive as readable text on the screen of any RDS-equipped FM receiver in range, including the FM chip in your phone, even when there is no cell service, even when the internet is gone, even when the power has been out for a week. This is the part the carriers do not want you to think about. The chip in your phone is not just a free radio. It is a one-way receiver for emergency text broadcasts that operate completely outside the cellular network. It is the analog backup to the digital alert system that fails first in every real disaster. In Japan, after the Fukushima earthquake and tsunami in 2011, the government quietly required all smartphones sold domestically to keep the FM chip active for exactly this reason. Norway, which shut down national FM broadcasting in 2017, kept smartphone FM functionality alive, specifically as an emergency backup. Brazil legally mandates it. Mexico legally mandates it. The European Union strongly recommends it. Every major industrial country with a recent disaster experience came to the same conclusion. Leave the chip on. The United States is the only major Western country where the carriers were allowed to override the manufacturers and switch it off by default. And here is the last detail that will change how you store your phone forever. FM reception uses roughly 1/10 of the power that cellular reception uses. A modern smartphone, with the screen dimmed and the FM radio playing, can run for 30 to 40 hours on a single charge. With airplane mode on, which keeps the FM chip working but turns off cellular searching, you can stretch a single charge to nearly 3 days of continuous emergency monitoring. Add a small solar charger or hand crank charger to your drawer, and your phone becomes a permanent emergency communications device that costs you nothing. So tonight, before you go to bed, find the toggle, plug in the adapter if you need to, save Next Radio or Spirit FM to your phone. Tape a pair of cheap wired headphones to the back of the device and put it somewhere you will remember. Because the next time the cell network goes dark, and it will somewhere in this country, within the next 12 months, the people who set this up in the next 10 minutes will know what is happening. And the people who did not will not. The chip is in your phone. The activation is free. The information it carries during a disaster is priceless. Now you know. And now it can be on. If this changed how you think about the phone in your pocket, hit the like and share it with someone who keeps their phone next to the bed. I'll see you in the next one.